So the Modi government was voted in on the promise of big ticket change, quick growth. And amongst the people pushing that growth agenda was Dr. Aravind Panagariya. He at that time was at the Columbia University. He's now the vice chairman of the new NITI Aayog. What does he make of his first budget working with Team Modi? Here is Aravind Panagariya on Hot Pursuit. I'm in hot pursuit of the Vice Chairman of the new NITI Aayog, Dr. Aravind Panagariya. So welcome. Your first big Indian budget where you've been involved from the inside to some extent at least. People would have expected this to be a bolder, braver budget. You know, here was a new government sworn in with huge amounts of hope and expectation. People thought it would be different. This is being called an incremental budget, which doesn't give that big ticket, big reform message that one would have expected from a Panagariya Modi Jaitley budget.
No, this is Modi's Jaitley budget. No Panagariya there. Probably beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. To me, it does appear that big steps have been taken. And I like to look at this as a whole, what the government has been doing. So if I really take the 9 months of other things that the government has been doing, plus what the budget does, and plus what the budget promises to do, I think to me it nearly kind of adds up to a...
No, but budgets also send signals. And the world was looking at India for signals. Here was an opportunity for this government to be brave and say, we will privatize, for example, Centaur Hotel or Air India, or open up FDI in newer sectors. There are a couple of sectors where you haven't moved yet. None of that seemed to have been done. It's a very cautious approach to budget making.
But that seems to have gotten built up in the Indian DNA. I mean, in addition to being the Vice Chair of the NITI Aayog, I'm also an economist and an analyst, and so I see it from that angle. To some degree, you know, except perhaps for a small period of the Vajpayee era, there is in the Indian DNA to do things.
It's the same party as Vajpayee, sir.
Party is the same, but it is coming after 10 years of rule by the UPA. And that 10 years of rule by the UPA has really further impacted the Indian DNA. But that being said, let me mention, there are some pretty bold steps actually, which even frankly the Vajpayee government had not touched on or tried but didn't make progress on. One such is the promise to bring in a bankruptcy law. Now this is a big thing in India. If you are a company and want to exit, it takes forever to wind up the company. The Rady Commission, which had studied this and made certain recommendations, it's almost 15 years ago, documented that on the average it took 15 to 25 years for companies to wind up. Now if we really, and you know, because if it takes that long to wind up, then companies are very hesitant to enter the market, because if there are no exit doors, you don't want to enter such a building. Therefore, state-of-the-art bankruptcy law was required. The finance minister has promised one. So that's clearly a very important one.
No, but the government does make a broad mention of disinvestment, strategic, non-strategic, without putting a fixed target to it, without telling us which companies are up for sale, without telling us when they would be up for sale. Is that part of what you're saying, the new cautious Indian government DNA?
Partly that, but remember that, you know, in the budget is not the place to actually name what you will privatize, how much you will privatize.
So you're saying privatizing Air India should be on the agenda for this year?
No, I'm not saying anything. I mean, you know, that will all unfold itself as the government moves with privatization. I think, you know, most budgets really give the goal, how much money they intend to raise through disinvestment. Except that this one goes a little bit further, says that we'll also do some strategic sales. So that certainly is a step.
And leaves us guessing on what the government has in mind when it comes to strategic sales.
Well, you know, I mean, even under Prime Minister Vajpayee, the list was drawn as Mr. Arun Shourie kind of went forward. So it's not like the entire list came in the budget.
One of the big problems is black money. It's been a big political issue. The government is bringing a new law to deal with black money stashed abroad. But as you well know, the majority of the black money is right here in sectors like the real estate sector. If I have to go out and buy a house this month, I will need to pay at least 25 to 30% of the money in black. Why isn't the government trying to fix that? There's absolutely no mention of it.
Yeah, but look, I mean, again, this is a 9-month-old government. The big promise during the election campaign was that the Prime Minister would go after the foreign money, Indian money that is stashed abroad. So that was the big commitment. But
that's a political goal. The real goal to fix the problem of black money is to deal with it head on in India.
But I mean, look, if he had gone after domestic black money, all of you guys, but I'm sure the entire press would have been up in arms saying, oh, but now you have given up on the goal of the foreign money. So he has made a beginning, and it is a reasonable beginning, it seems to me, and let this happen, and maybe in a second step, maybe the next budget.